How's it going, folks? Great to be here. I just want to tell you a bit about myself. I've lived a bit of a strange life. Like not many people can genuinely say that when they were a kid, they caught their dad masturbate while he choked himself with a belt, but guess who can? My kids. Yeah, I read that 25% of men suffer with social anxiety when using public bathrooms, and I'm one of them men, and it's a fucking nightmare, You'll be out with your mates having a few drinks, it's about 6 or 7 drinks, you'll run to the bathroom, you'll run to the urinal, unzip your pants, take your cock out, Everything is fine up to that point. But if another man wants to walk over and start using the urinal beside me, I don't know why, but for some reason I can never come. It's like the weirdest strange stuff. Big fan of TV shows. My favourite TV show, House of the Dragon, is coming back. It's great. It's like Game of Thrones, but the incest is way more tasteful, It's only cousins fucking, you can relate, No, but in the last season, actually, at one point, the king's best friend, his right-hand man, he says to the king, in order to keep the bloodline in the family strong, that the princess should marry her 2-year-old baby brother, which is fucking crazy. And the king was like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Absolutely not. This is the medieval times, not Manchester. Calm down with that fucking shit, all right? Good reference, yeah, good reference. Right. Tell by the accent, not around from around here. But the funniest thing about the show is that it's fantasy based, So there's somebody who's like a half man, half crab. There's blood magic. There's fire breathing dragons. But the strangest part is that when some of the fans saw that one of the characters was a black man with blonde hair, they were like, "It's a bit too much fantasy for me now." Buying this now. My parents separated. I was 6 years old. My mum and dad had 6 kids. He had 6 boys. But when he separated, he had 7 more kids. That's 13 kids altogether. But because me and my 5 brothers, we were the 6 kids in the family, we always refer to ourselves as the original 6. Because not only is it a cool name, but it's also far more uplifting than the abandoned 6, doesn't it? It's staying as much, But as the family got bigger, we all moved out at an early age, So when I was 14, I was sent to live with my uncle Christopher, and he was a fucking psychopath, he was always masturbating. I swear to God, I caught my uncle masturbating so much that when I got home from school, I'd walk up the steps of the apartment as loud as I could, Because I was hoping that if he hears me coming, I won't see him coming. Do you know what I'm saying? I've been living with my girlfriend now for about 8 years. She's great, but she's very ditzy. Very ditzy woman, For example, 2 years ago, she was getting ready to go to the gym upstairs, and she's getting her clothes on, and she was walking towards the stairs, but she was looking at her phone, and she fell down the goddamn stairs. It was a fucking serious accident. And she got in a lot of issues, medically. And it's really affected our relationship, especially our sex life, We've only had sex maybe 4, maybe 5 times since she died. She's a great woman, though. She's a great woman. She's beautiful as well, man. My girlfriend, it's weird how good looking she is. When I look in her face, I'm kind of dumbfounded. I don't know what it is. It's like I have a moment of honesty with myself. I say the most random thing. I remember a few weeks ago, I woke up in bed really early. I remember rolling over in bed and looking at my girlfriend's beautiful face, and I remember just saying to myself like that, "Man, this girl is definitely dead." I'm not a big fan of stereotypes, And I hate the stereotypes that women put on gay men, Every woman wants a gay best friend because they think that gay men want to do all the boring shit that their boyfriends don't want to do, I think that's kind of fucked up, Every woman thinks that there's a string attached to a gay man, and when you pull it, it says, "Let's go shopping." They're men. Let them hang out with men. But I figured out as well how easy it is to be considered gay. If you want to be considered lesbian, you have to do lesbian shit. You have to love a woman and date a woman. But in order to be considered gay, it's the easiest thing in the world, I'll give you an example. I do a lot of gigs in the north of Ireland, right? And I overheard somebody say this, and I went home and I Googled it to see if it was true, and it's true. But apparently in the north of Ireland, if you open a bag of crisps upside down, you're a homosexual. I think that's why Pringles are the #1 selling crisp up there, you know? Like, be one determined game man to fuck that up, would you? But yeah, man, I'm going to say something, just don't jump on me before I fucking finish, but I'm not a big fan of Pride Month. Pride Day, absolutely. All that fun, enjoyment, condensed into one day, so much better. But a month of anything is too long. We all love pianos, yeah? Piano Day sounds delightful. Piano Month sounds like a fucking nightmare, all right? Like, just imagine it's like day 23 in the Piano Month. You're walking down the street, haven't slept in days, you know? Eyes bulging. Before you hear chopsticks one more fucking time, you know? Start hating Asian people out of spite, you know? Every time a Beethoven dog walks by, she's kicking in the face, you know? That's what I'm saying. So when things last a month, man, it's too much. But the worst people when it comes to celebrating things for a month, it has to be the people that celebrate their birthday months. They are the worst fucking people alive. If anybody here goes out with somebody that celebrates their birthday month, either you're going out with a narcissist or you're a paedophile, right? It's only kids like birthdays that fucking much, you know? They are the worst. Like, these are the kind of people that on 9/11, when they were watching the TV, they saw the planes go into the towers, they saw the people jump to their deaths, they saw the towers crumble and kill thousands of people. They turned the TV off and said, like, this is the most unbelievable thing I've ever saw. I can't believe this just happened on my birthday. Yeah, man. I got very sick last year. I got pneumonia and I developed a thing called pleural effusion, which means I've got fluid in my lungs, and it's painful, but it's more embarrassing than anything, you know, having fluid in your lungs, you know, because, like, no woman wants to have sex with a man that's drowning to death on land, you know, like, super fucking embarrassing, you know. But I'm in out in hospital a lot, just gonna get this thing fucking sorted. And I remember a few weeks ago I read this article by Vice magazine. You probably heard of them. They're looking like an alternative media source, you know. And they wrote an article about how ISIS are making beheading videos for a modern audience, and it's 100% true. I remember thinking about this a few years ago myself, you know, because my brother, he sent me a beheading video on WhatsApp because that's how we bond, you know. And I remember flicking it on, and the video starts off with just the desert, just gold sand, blue sky. Camera turns to the left and it stops on two men. There's one man standing up, dressed head to toe, all in black, face covered. He's holding a large hunting knife. To his right, there's a man on his knees in an orange jumpsuit. His name is Sean Malto. He worked for a German publication. He was covering the war in Syria. The guy with the knife, he picks it up, he points at the camera and he says, to the government of the West, you've bombed our lands, destroyed everything we own, killed our families, but our will to fight will always be here. He gets the knife and he cuts off Sean's head. It takes about 10 seconds. Fucking absolute brutality, you know. The knife is covered in blood. He picks it up, he points at the camera. He says, to the people of the West, we have a message for you. Please like, subscribe, share this video, hit the tab in the corner for more content. Stay there. Suffered a lot with depression growing up. I was 17, I tried to kill myself. Like everything else in my life, I failed at that too, you know. But being a suicide survivor, you actually learn a lot of valuable lessons, you know. Everybody says that failing at life, like it's the worst thing ever, but failing at death is fucking 10 times worse. You know? Like, it really hammers home the fact that you can't do fucking anything right, you know. But I'm a big fan of sports. I love trans athletes, you know, because they're so dominant, you know. Everybody's angry nowadays about, you can't take part in sports because it's not competitive when you play against women. But it's like, if you ever turn on a 100-meter sprint and it was just a bunch of white dudes, you'd be like, what the fuck is this shit, you know? Like, these lads aren't taking steroids, I'm not fucking watching, you know? Because in my opinion, like, a trans athlete versus a female athlete, it's a lot like a black athlete versus a white athlete, you know? Like they run fast, they jump higher, their dicks are bigger, it's the same fucking thing, you know? Oh yeah. I love conspiracies, but I'm not. But I don't really like conspiracy theories, you know, because you always kind of like, they always ruin good conspiracies, you know. Like, I had a mate that came over and he was like, "Jerry, see that they're building new houses, but they're not putting chimneys on it." I was like, "Fuck, no, I didn't know that." He said, "Yeah, do you know why?" So maybe the government doesn't want people burning solid fuels, so they just took the chimneys out of the house. No, you don't have a chimney. How is Santa Claus going to get in? War on Christmas, Google it, yeah. But I remember reading this thing about the cashless society as well. Like that's like a genuine conspiracy, you know. And like they were and it starts off making sense, you know, like car boot sales, you know, like labourers and all that stuff. Like how are you going to pay them? Then I got into kind of like some wacky shit, like tooth fairies, you know, like how are we going to pay the tooth fairy? He's going to get like an all for one gift voucher underneath your pillow. Like, this is great. I could spend this in most shops, you know. And then I went into sex work, you know. Like, how are we going to pay the whores, you know? You're not going to get like a mortgage with bank, but fucking rim job on your bank same day, you know. But I heard this weird thing as well the other day about sex work, saying that, like, you know, like you can't call prostitutes whores anymore because it's offensive, disrespectful. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me because you kind of have to like play that situation out, you know. Imagine you get a prostitute and you're walking back to the van or the abandoned building, you know. You're making small talk and you're like, "So, how long have you been a whore?" Like, "What? How long have you been a whore? Don't call me that. That's disrespectful and demeaning." It's like, you know I'm going to piss on you, right? You know, that's... Folks, that's my time. Thank you very much. Sorry about that.